We're going to take a look at the laws of the game. There's an official rule book for football with 17 different laws in it, but I promise we don't need to look at all those. The good news is you can happily watch football for the rest of your lives and never read a single word of it, because the referee out there is only really watching for a handful of things. Learn those and the game stops being a mystery and starts to make sense. So let me walk you through the ones that actually matter, the ones that make the whistle go, the ones that will help you understand the sport when you're watching it. Number one, the ball going out. This is the simplest one of all, and the one that happens constantly through the game. The ball going out of play. The pitch has lines all the way around it, and the moment the whole ball passes completely over one of those lines, play stops. Sometimes the ball can look as though it's out, but as long as part of the ball is still above the line, play continues. If the ball goes out over the side of the pitch, known as the touch line, the team whose player didn't touch it last gets a throw in. If the defending team touches the ball last and it goes behind their own goal, the attacking team gets a corner kick, taken from the corner nearest to where the ball went out. If the attacking team touch the ball last and it goes behind the goal, the defending team gets a goal kick. I know that sounds complicated at first, but you'll very quickly get used to it. Every time the ball goes out, just ask yourself one question: who touched it last? And the answer will tell you who gets the restart. Now, fouls and free kicks. This is the big one, fouls. This is what the referee spends most of his afternoon judging. A foul is when a player breaks the rules in a way they challenge an opponent, kicking them, tripping them, pushing them, holding them, pulling their shirt, barging them over. When that happens, the referee blows the whistle and gives the other team a free kick, a chance to restart play unchallenged from the spot where the infringement happened. But here's something that beginners can sometimes get wrong. It can get a bit confusing, but it's worth knowing. Because football is a contact sport, players are allowed to lean on each other, to compete shoulder to shoulder, to be physical as part of the essence of the sport. Not every tumble is a foul. What the referee is trying to work out is whether the challenge was careless or unfair, not whether the two players simply bumped into each other. So when you see someone go down and the referee wave play on, that's usually why. He's decided it was fair. And remember that box in front of the goal from last time, the penalty area we talked about. If a defender commits a foul inside their own box, it's not a free kick, it's a penalty. But penalties are so dramatic, they have a whole episode to themselves a bit later on in this series. So I'll leave that one there for now. One lovely thing to watch for at a free kick near a goal: the defending team is allowed to build a wall, a line of players standing shoulder to shoulder to block the shot, but they have to stand back 10 yards away, and you will often see the referee pace it out, even spray a little line of foam on the grass to show exactly where the wall must stand. You might have seen that. It's just literally foam, which then evaporates and gives a marker of where they have to stand. It's a nice bit of theatre, and it disappears a minute later, but it makes sure that they are very clear about where their position is. And one more thing that quietly confuses people: sometimes a player is fouled, and instead of stopping the game, the referee waves both arms forwards and shouts, "Play on." What he's doing there is what's called the advantage rule. If the team that was fouled is actually better off by them just carrying on, say they have the ball and they've got a clear run at goal, if the referee stopped them for the foul that had been committed on them, he'd actually be doing them a disservice. It wouldn't be an advantage. So playing the advantage just means allowing them to keep playing, even though there's been a foul, because he knows they're better off being allowed to keep playing. If the advantage doesn't come off, if they're stopped a minute later, then he might bring it back for a free kick because the advantage didn't play out. But once you know it's there, you'll spot it every time. Okay, handball, the law that causes more arguments than any other. Obviously, football is a game in which people use their feet to play, hence the name. The basic idea is simple. Outfield players are not allowed to use their hands or arms. So you've got 11 players in a team, 1 goalkeeper, 10 outfield players. They can't use their hands or arms. So if the ball strikes your hand or arm, the referee may give a free kick or even a penalty if it happens in the penalty box. But, and this is why everyone argues, it's not always that simple. The referee has to judge whether it was deliberate or whether the player made themselves unnaturally big, sticking an arm out where it had no business being. A ball that simply hits an arm tucked in by the side, by accident, from close range, is often given as nothing at all. And honestly, even the experts, the pundits, the former players, the former referees argue about handball every single weekend. So if you find it baffling, you're in excellent company. The rule of thumb is, did the arm make the body bigger, and did the player have a chance to avoid it? If he did on purpose make himself bigger and didn't avoid it, then it's handball. If he was just standing there with his hand by his side and couldn't do anything to avoid it and it hits his arm, it's not. Now for the drama, cards. When a foul is bad enough or a player keeps misbehaving, the referee reaches into his pocket and produces a coloured card, and the whole stadium reacts. A yellow card is a warning, it's a caution. It says, calm down, that was too much. If you do that again, you're in trouble. And that last part is key, because if a player collects 2 yellow cards in the same match, those 2 are added together and become red. A red card is a big one. It can come from 2 yellows or straight away for something really serious, a dreadful tackle or violence. And a red card means the player is sent off. They leave the pitch and they cannot be replaced. Their team has to play the rest of the match with only 10 players instead of 11. It's an enormous moment because being a player short for an hour can lose you a game or even a tournament. So when you see that red card come out, you know that the whole shape of the match has just changed. The final thing I'm going to look at is added time. I know this can puzzle newcomers to the game more than anything else. Why does the clock go past 90 minutes if a football match is 90 minutes long? It can run on to 93, 94, 95. It's called added time or stoppage time. All the way through each half, the clock keeps running even when play has stopped for injuries, for substitutions, for goal celebrations, for time wasting. None of that is real football. So at the end of the match, the referee adds those lost minutes back on. You'll see a 4th official on the touchline hold up a lit up board showing how many extra minutes are coming. Those minutes can be the most dramatic of the lot, because a goal in added time, right at the death, when everyone thought it had finished, is one of the great feelings in all of sport, as long as it's your side scoring, quite obviously. So there you are, the ball going out, fouls and free kicks, handballs, cards and added time. That really is most of what the referee is watching for, and most of what you need to know in order to follow a match with confidence. There is one more law though, perhaps the biggest of the lot, certainly the most argued over and the most misunderstood of all: offside. And it's so important and honestly so much fun once it clicks that I've given it an entire episode of its own. And that's exactly where we're going now. The next episode is all about offside. See you there.